Welcome back. Young baseball players around the North Central Florida are facing rising injuries.
WFT's Bradley Schimmel heard from players and health experts about how local athletes are making a comeback from Tommy John surgeries.
There's an epidemic amongst high school and travel baseball players. Young athletes are undergoing Tommy John surgeries at an astronomical rate. I spoke with players, doctors, coaches, and parents to see what can be done to mitigate this issue. Nowadays, Florida pitcher Ryan Slater is lighting up the college baseball world. But 3 years ago, his career was in a complete 180.
I was pitching a game, and then one pitch, I felt something go on in my elbow, and I knew it wasn't okay. But then going to the doctors and everything, they said it was just like a partial tear, so I could just rehab and everything, get it better. After like a year-long process of like rehabbing and getting back to throwing again, I'd always do the same thing again. It happened at least twice. So that once it happened that third time, like I felt that pop again. I was like, all right, it's probably not going to get better. It's time to get surgery.
Slater was one of hundreds of youth athletes to undergo Tommy John surgery, an arm procedure that can derail dreams. According to a public data set from 1971 to 2003, there were 7 known Tommy John surgeries performed on patients under 21 in the United States. From 2018 to 2023, there were 95 known surgeries, numbers that alarmed UF Health Chief of Sports Medicine Jason Zaremski.
There is a lot of overuse year-round throwing injuries, and these injuries aren't actually going down.
Zaremski believes that desire to increase velocity through specialized programs has contributed to the recent rise in arm injuries.
While we're maintaining pitch counts now, which is great, that from all the providers around the country that have been pushing this, but with the increase in velocity and increase in velocity quickly, I suspect that is contributing to the continued decrease in these overuse injuries in our adolescent and youth baseball and softball players for that matter.
Being mindful of the times, travel and high school coaches like Buchholz head coach Ron Brooks are taking extra precautions to protect their athletes. Having had Tommy John surgery himself, Brooks knows that communication is key in keeping players safe.
Players have pitching coaches, they have all different types of individual coaches. You also got to think about how much they're working out, how much they're training. So it's an ongoing process of communication about how much they're throwing, when they're throwing, where they're throwing.
Along with communication, Dr. Zaremski considers preparation to be just as important.
You have to do more than just pitch counts. It's preparation in the off season. It's not maybe necessarily doing too much, giving yourself a little bit of a break from your arm. The recommendations are no pitching for 3 to 4 months per 12-month period.
Since I've been to college, I've been introduced to more arm care, so like that's going in the training room every day, doing your shoulder exercises, doing your bands, getting your Normatec in, just doing anything to keep your arm in shape, really.
Rest is a huge factor. For your scheduled throw once a week, for 10 weeks straight, I think you should take the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks off, recovering your arms, making sure your body's healthy.
In addition to coaches, parents of youth athletes play a significant role in player safety.
When I got out of school, I never wanted to do homework again, but as a parent, you got to do homework. Make sure that you're asking questions, you're dealing with a coach that cares about the kid.
With arm injuries on the rise, prioritizing the health of players is more important now than ever before. Bradley Schimmel, WUFT News.